morning, Dubai. How are you doing? Happy Monday and welcome back to the Lovin Daily, where we talk about the big stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. I'm sure you've been sitting up all night wondering why the gorilla and tiger were flying through Dubai Marina, and now we know. We'll also be talking about a checklist for students and parents as school is back in full force, how you can kind of continue to follow guidelines. Also, we talk about the important Visa Where You Shop Matters campaign. But our first story is something that I think is going to be interest to a lot of travellers, is passengers flying with Emirates from Dubai can get COVID tests from just 150 dirhams. This is pretty incredible. An update on the Emirates website, which you can see right now, announced special rates for Emirates passengers. So you can now get that COVID test for 150 dirham at American Hospital Dubai Media City Clinic, American Hospital Al Barsha Clinic, and also American Hospital Al Kwanij Clinic, which is opening at the end of September. And another thing on top of that is that you can also get home or office testing from Emirates within Dubai for a minimum of 2 passengers, which is available at 250 dirham. It wasn't quite clear whether that's per person or for total. I'm assuming it's per person.
Per person, right?
I'm assuming it's per person.
Coming all the way to your place.
Yeah, it must be per person. But still, 250 dirham, which obviously is now the going rate for public tests in Dubai. It's pretty fantastic knowing that Emirates will send someone to your home. Test results will be available, within 48 hours. And on top of that, passengers, and just kind of some notes for you, passengers must take the test within the period required by your destination. And Emirates will not be responsible if the test results are not released in time for travel. You can get all of that information on Emirates right now. Now, this comes after tests across Dubai were reduced from 370 dirham to 250 dirham yesterday, according to an update from Dubai Health Authority, who are basically encouraging preemptive medical exams as a preventative measure. So basically, across the city, they're trying to make COVID-19 tests cheaper to encourage you to, if you're feeling sick in any way, if you have a temperature, to just go and get that test. This follows SEHA, which is the Abu Dhabi health authorities. They brought their COVID test down last week down to 250 dirham last Thursday. So as we're seeing, hopefully we'll see even cheaper, I reckon. Chai's just nodding, because of course, yeah, it's kind of more like they say to encourage you to get the test if you're not feeling 100%. And as we know, they're so readily available across Dubai. I know in comparison to countries across the world, the fact that we're able to get our results so quickly, sometimes within a day, that was my experience. It's very, very positive. So, and the fact that they've brought the test down to 250 is encouraging. But we could come down a little bit more. Would be okay with that. We'll move on to our next story. There's a COVID-19 checklist that parents and students need to be aware of. So parents, students and teachers have been issued new guidelines now that schools are back in full force, and of course now that numbers are rising. And tests are rising too, number of tests taken are rising as well. They said children must be reminded and spoken to regularly about the virus, which I think is so important, because obviously every single day we're hearing the news, or maybe you're avoiding the news sometimes as much as you possibly can, because there's so much information and just like a constant stream of information about the virus. But of course, children aren't hearing it, so you need to speak to them regularly about it. And precautions for kids include basic things like avoiding high fives, avoiding sitting in big groups, and of course, avoiding swapping stationery, which they may forget. So cute if a kid's like, you can take my rubber.
Yeah, exactly. You can take my pencil. Oh, I forgot my pencil. Can I borrow a pencil? I remember those days.
I know, and it was such a... Did you ever have like
A box, a stationery box, yeah.
Were you like the cool stationery kid? I can imagine you were, with like the cool sharpener. Did you ever have that? And then like across the classroom, you'd be like, okay, who's going to use Chai's sharpener? And then you would put people in charge of your stationery?
I was
Did you ever have
the
that?
person who kept like using it and borrowing other people.
Oh, really?
And then using it again.
Those times are gone. But this is interesting because it's given students need to be so responsible now, because if you're the kid who loses things, or I know that teachers obviously be there to help, but it's just these things that you need to keep in mind. Within the checklist, they talked about all of the things that are susceptible to contamination. So as parents, you need to be aware, make sure you're sanitizing that school bag, because when it's in class, is it going to be touching other students' school bags? Make sure you're sanitizing that lunchbox, headphones, pens and notebooks, smart devices, glasses, because it's like a phone. If you're wearing glasses, you're touching them constantly, and of course children's toys. They also said as a reminder, so this had a whole do's and don'ts, and if you're a parent, you want to check it out, Dubai Health Authority posted it yesterday. The do's are greet others without contact, wash and sanitize your hands regularly, of course, bring your own food home, maintain physical distancing, clean and disinfect your desk. And I think it's quite obviously some of the schools that we've been to, I mentioned before, I was at James Wellington Primary School to see what they're kind of doing. And you see that the teachers are working constantly. But at the same time, if you have 10 kids in a class, I know the young ones may not be fully in tune, but if they're able to fully sanitize the desk and it's kind of a group effort, and it's not, obviously it's up to the school to instill that, but if the parents are regularly reminding at home, that's such a helpful effort, I think, as well.
And for our listeners, Casey was a teacher.
I think we mentioned it before. I was a teacher. Showy fat for life. Alcifa. But I know, but I just look at how, and I'm speaking to, I obviously still have teacher friends here and in Ireland, and looking at how they're it's so interesting how they're so happy to be back. Because for me, you know, going into the office place, it's a scary time, and they're just so happy after, you know, so long at home doing the distance learning. The majority, I think, are happy to be back. But the measures put in place and the level of thought and attention to detail during the summer is incredible. So now I think this is a reminder to parents to help out as well.
So after every class, do they have to clean the desks and things like that?
Well, I'm assuming so. After every class, I'm kind of more aware of the KGs, so the students would be in the class the same day. But with all these classes, there's always a teacher and there's a teaching assistant. And I'm assuming the teaching assistant's kind of focus will be primarily to make sure that desks, toys. I remember one of the teachers at GEM, she said, you know, anything, if you see a toy go near a child's mouth, which happens all the time, it just goes straight into a bucket, a disinfection bucket. So there's all these little things in place throughout the class now. They have sanitization at the door, lots of little things. And then kind of the don'ts, touch your eyes, nose, or mouth with dirty hands. Like, these are kids.
But like kids, like, it's just natural.
Yeah, and throw your mask in undesignated places. Don't share your mask with others. I was thinking about this. If you have like a cool mask.
Oh, I don't want that mask.
Yeah, it's actually probably not a good idea to have like Spider-Man masks, because then I reckon, but then your kid, it's just tricky. It's a tricky time.
I was just thinking out loud because you mentioned that as soon as the kids go back home, the parents are asked to disinfect all the bags, pencil cases, and about 2 weeks back we were at STEP conference, and I remember while taking our equipment right there, we had to disinfect everything, and that itself is a process. Like, it takes time, so like I just imagine how many times the parents have to do it day in, day out.
Well, how much equipment did you have going to that event though? It was a huge amount.
All
of this equipment. I think that with parents, it's kind of like when you get used to disinfecting your groceries as they come in. So whether you're getting them delivered or going to the store, I just do a quick wipe with I do a quick wipe with a sanitization pad. And that kind of does it. So I'm assuming it'll be the same with school bags. Obviously, you need to get into a process and routine of it. But good luck to all the parents going through that at the moment. It's great to see that the kids are back at school, and I hope that it continues to be safe. Finally, in our third story, we know why the gorilla and tiger were flying through Dubai Marina. So yesterday morning, did you hear the commotion, or did you see the stories on Lovin Dubai? There was a gorilla and tiger statue being transported via helicopter into Dubai Marina, and now we know why. The sculptures, and they are absolutely incredible, like 5 meters long and 2.5 meters wide, were created by French-Tunisian artist Idris B for New Bar Dubai Marina. So if you remember where Shades was, that's kind of been taken over by this new bar. It's called Wayne by Samia. I think that's how you pronounce it, Wayne by Samia. And these sculptures are super cool. They're taking central place. If you check out his Instagram, he's featured in some really cool places around Dubai, so you may have seen his work before at the Emirates Golf Club while the event was on pre-COVID. Emirates Golf. What was the golf that was on? Well, he had sculptures there. Zainarai Island, he has an amazing sculpture there if you want to check out his Instagram. I love them, they're so cool. But yeah, the tiger and the leopard going via helicopter yesterday was...
Gorilla or leopard?
Oh, thank you, Jai. Gorilla. And he's so cool as well. How did I just say that? I love gorillas, they're amazing. So they're taking pride of place. And actually, if you check out his Instagram, you can see the process. So they're lifted from somewhere near AED Dubai. Feels a little bit like a publicity stunt, I must say.
Everybody was wondering why
they're there.
A tiger and a gorilla flying through Dubai.
Yeah, and it started near AED Dubai and it landed, and then also I think there's already a sculpture in place. So I'm just wondering if this was coordinated. But I mean, absolutely awesome, because yesterday.
How do you shift such a big thing unless you break it down into parts?
But I think when I looked at the videos, maybe There's one there. I'm not sure, exactly how do you shift it, but I mean, the video got 100,000 views yesterday, so now we all know there's a new bar opening and addressed by Marina, so it's fantastic. Great publicity. Exactly. Moving on to more businesses we want to talk about, you can give shout outs to small businesses that you care about using the hashtag Where You Shop Matters, and we'll repost it. So this is a fantastic initiative by Visa. We've talked about it before, which is encouraging people around the world to think about the positive impact shopping local can have. Small businesses, as we know, have been feeling the effects of months with little to no business, and now more than ever they need our support. So to spread the word for a local business that you care about, all you need to do is take a picture, post it on your Instagram, use the hashtag Where You Shop Matters, and we'll repost. So if you think about, a business that you care about, whether it's every weekend you go to the same place to get croissants, every morning you go to the same place to get coffee, or you get fruit and veg in the same store, it doesn't have to be, there's no kind of definition for what a small business is, as long as it's not a massive chain. Just take any picture, whatever is happening in the store, whatever it may be, if you want to call them out or shout them out, tag us at Lovin Dubai, use the hashtag Where You Shop Matters, and we'll repost it on our Instagram throughout the day. So it's just a great little initiative by Visa, spreading the word for small businesses. We know a lot of them need support. We had our own business bounce back campaign, and that kind of gave us an idea of the volume of small businesses in the city who are just kind of reaching out for a little bit of help at the moment, and this is a way that you can do it in such a small way. Those are our top stories, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're back every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.